Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This intraday video for Monday, July 11th, 2011 is brought to you by Realtik. Alright guys, let's get into the mix. A lot to discuss today. The markets are getting hammered across the board. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 156 points, NASDAQ down 55, almost 2%, and the S&P 500 is down 23 on the day, 1.75%. Notice how the markets are inching below this little green line right here. This was support earlier. You can see you pierced it and then reversed back to the upside. Now we're going below it again, which probably tells us we're going to go to a double bottom level down here on the SPY. Remember, the SPY mirrors the S&P 500, and again, it's a tracking ETF. All right, first of all, the one thing I want to mention here, we're seeing the downside today because of Europe mainly. Italy, this is something that we saw rumblings of last week. Italy looks like it's on the verge of becoming the next Greece. Portugal, Spain are right there. More aid is needed. The credit default swaps for the banks, which is causing the banks to be very, very weak today. Goldman Sachs, JPMorgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, all getting pounded. Those, again, are major issues here. And again, it's not ending. And I said this last time. When they gave Greece the aid package, it was a great squeeze in the markets. But really what it ended up doing for us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com was giving us another opportunity to short on the bounce. And that's exactly what we did. And again, on Friday, if you guys recall, I took off half my position of Google here. Google, I unloaded half my short position for about a $15.50 one-day gain. That was one day, folks. I shorted on Thursday, covered half on Friday. I have the rest at a break-even stop as it again is falling. You can see right here it's coming below that area where I covered the line. Right here is where I moved out of it on Friday for half the position. And again, the break-even stop is up here. This is the break-even stop up in this range. All right, so again, beautiful move there. As that continues to fall, I may decide to move out of the second half of my short by covering it. And again, another position that I opened up on last Thursday, which is now paying us off handsomely, is 3M. 3M was in a beautiful double top. Look at this double top right here. You can't get a better double top than that. I shorted it right there. 98.05 was my short level, about 10 to 15 cents from the 52-week highs. And look at the fall today, guys. I'm already out of half that position for basically a $2 gain, and I'll be looking to unload the second half for about a $3.50, $3 gain as it continues down. So again, listen, guys, this is what it's about. When you have the spiders doing what they're doing and the markets are doing what they're doing and you get this type of bounce, we called for the bounce here. I started to short as it got up higher and higher. Thursday, again, this was the day that I put on two of those shorts, Google and 3M. Look at the pullback. It hit the 50 moving average today. This is actually a little bit of support here at the 50 moving average. But bottom line is, the shorts are working out well for us here, obviously. And those of you that are in the research center know all about that. Intraday stock chat, we were scalping today long and short on this market. And again, the small cap Chinese plays continue to have big days. And this has been the beauty of it, guys. For those of you in the intraday stock chat, we're getting the hidden gems in the research center. We're long small cap China plays right now making money and short the market making money both ways. So again, it's the beauty of being a short-term trader in terms of swing trading, which is buying and selling stocks on a 1 week basis, 3-day basis, 2-week basis. Again, holding for a few days and then unloading for profits. That's the way you have to trade this market. If you're not trading the markets this way, you're not making money, bottom line, okay? All right, now again, folks, taking a look at a couple of these Chinese stocks. I gave out this call late last week as a long in the intraday stock chat. We talked about this in nightly videos. In fact, on Fridays, in the Friday summary, I gave out this call as well on the hot charts and alerts, which is part of the research center. I said, listen, SCEI is going to break here, guys. It's going to just close right on that 20 moving average, looking for it to pop. Sure enough, the alert went out last week at $1.30. It popped to $1.64 today, folks. Think about that. 34 cents on a dollar stock, basically a 25% gain on this small Chinese stock. And again, that was the beauty there. KNDI I gave out last week as well. Look at this thing today. Blasting off. This was as much as 30 to 40% higher today. Notice how it filled the gap essentially right here. But again, we were long this. We told people to be long this in the intraday stock chat. Some people in the research center obviously know from what I mentioned in the video about this as well. And that's what it's all about, guys. Just banking money on the long side, banking money on the short side. Other stocks to watch. You want to know the next Chinese one that I think is going to make a run? I think this is it right here. Notice how it's creeping up. Going to have resistance at the 50 moving average here. But ultimately, that is making a beautiful bottom level level. And again, this is BSPM. Watch for this one to start to take off, guys. I think 50 moving average is not too far away at $1.33. It's got to get through a $1.25. $1.25 has a lot of sellers right there. If it clears that $1.25, it goes to the 50 moving average, and then ultimately I think it goes possibly all the way up here to about $1.80 in the not too distant future. All right, that's a good one. What else are we talking about here? Other trades out there that look good on the charts. I actually like the CEU, China Education Alliance, dead lows. Any sort of pop should bring it back to about $1.05 to $1.10, which is the 50 moving average. And then there's other hidden gems, but you need to join the research center. Remember, if you want to try out the Research Center, there's a 7-day free trial we offer. Just go to inthemoneystocks.com and you'll get that free trial. You just sign up for it. No risks to anything. You trade whatever you want to do. If you cancel before the end, you're not charged. Simple as that. Really no risk there, all right? All right, let's go back to the SPY. Take a gander at what's going on here. Markets are back to their lows. Notice this, guys. Did I just not say earlier in this video that we had a good chance of going to a double bottom? Look at that market. There you go. Just giving you a sense of how we read the markets, how accurately we call this market. And again, I could see the bear flag in spirit of forming here, breaking below, and that was telling me it's going to a double bottom. Now the question is, are we going to break down here? We may. It's a good possibility. You should have a little bit of support right here at the 131.90 area, which is right where we are now, but it is possible that we do break further down because the markets, again, are under pressure from the dollar. Take a look at the dollar today. Dollar, again, a big gain on the dollar. Dollar's actually starting to uptick, and that's pushing these markets to new lows right now. And remember, the reason why the dollar is negative because black box trading programs are featured that way to go against the dollar move. So they'll sell the market when the dollar goes up. The reason they do that is because if you look at it in terms of inflationary products, a company, if you just look at, let's say, a building that a company is in, that should technically go the opposite way of the dollar. If the dollar falls, that building is worth more, right? So again, factor in a stock in a company. If the dollar is getting weaker and weaker in terms of the real world, that company should be valued at more. That's why when the dollar gets stronger, that company is going to be worth less. And that's really the reasons why these black box trading programs are trading it this way. And it makes sense. It does make sense, although it won't last forever. Right now, it's lasting, it's working. It will not last forever, so just keep that in mind, guys, all right? Dollar again, nice little pop here. Markets again hitting lows. Let's go back to the spiders. Look at that nice little bounce. You're getting a little bit of a bounce after piercing the low of the day. That's a little bit of a double bottom play right there. Let's take a look at some other stocks here. I mentioned financials were under a lot of pressure. Look at the financials here. Down today, Goldman Sachs down 225, although that's actually a nice little in spirit of bullish pattern if it can get above and close above on one of these 10-minute candles above the 20 moving average. Then it probably shoots up nicely. Let's take a look at JPMorgan. JPMorgan, same thing. Ugly day today, down $1.17, but it is above the 20, which is actually holding, and that's not a bad chart there. Financials is the first sign of a little bit of strength throughout the day after an ugly, ugly day on all this worry out of Europe, and obviously the contagion spread here in the United States. We know about the jobs number on Friday, 18,000 created last month. That's not going to get us anywhere. Debt ceiling talks with the government. We just had Obama on TV. He's basically bashing the Republicans over this stuff and calling them out. They're calling him out. It's a big mess of political nonsense, in my opinion. And that's the beauty of it, guys. If you're with us in the money stocks, you really don't care about that stuff in terms of trading because you're making money both sides of the market. You want to know where to go long. You want to know where to go short. You want to profit with the pros. That's exactly what we're doing here on a non-stop basis here at inthemoneystocks.com. Learn from the pros, bottom line. If I could go back and redo it from my decades ago when I started trading, that's exactly what I would be doing. I'd be partnering up with a pro by learning from their service and mastering the markets, and I'd avoid so many pitfalls of losing money. I'll tell you, no one's born with a golden nugget in their pocket for understanding how to trade. You got to learn, and the best way to learn how to swing trade, day trade, and invest in your 401k is by getting next to someone who knows what they're doing. All right. In any case, folks, let's take a look at Exxon today. Exxon getting hit a little bit, although off the lows. Chevron, take a look at Chevron. Chevron a lot weaker than Exxon today, down $1.72. Nice fall there. Google was positive. I am still half a position short here, but it's now negative by $4, which is great because, again, I'm short half a position remaining after taking over $15 in profits on Friday on the first half of the short. Now up almost $20 on the second half. And again, I'm looking for about 25 to 30 all in all on this trade, and then I'll move out and let it do what it wants. But again, you see how you can just make money like that, and that's the beauty of it. You have your printing press literally in your computer, and if you do well enough, it's like having a printing press. Really is. You can print money. You need money, then go and trade and make some money. All right, let's take a look at a couple other things here. Baidu, Chinese plays. Chinese small caps are hot, but large caps, after having such a big bounce, are pulling back. Baidu down $5. Sina trading down about $7. Look at that fall on Sina earlier today. Wow, that was a big fall, big bounce, and then another coming as it pulls back here. You can see this chart. I think you got to wait to be a buyer of Sina all the way down to the 20 moving average down here before you start messing around with it. I have more small caps to release in the Research Center this week. If you take the webinar this coming Saturday, you will get a featured small cap by me that I'll be buying as well. And again, obviously the interpretation is that hopefully that small cap pays 10 times over for the webinar, and only people that take the webinar this week will get it, or this Saturday will get this for free. Past webinar people can purchase it for $44.95 to get this play, but no one else. Only webinar people. So I encourage you to join and sign up for the webinar. Might as well. This play alone I think is going to be a huge one. And again, that's our hope here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, fun day in the markets. Good to see some action. Good to see our shorts working out. Good to see our small cap China play longs paying us off. And again, that's what we're going to continue to do, folks. Trade the markets, do the right thing, and make money. Take care.